Hello, everybody. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful last weekend of 2024. We are coming up on New Year's, and we will actually be live on New Year's Eve. So make sure you tune into that, especially if you're not doing anything. Dalton is in here with me. He is out of school until January 9th. So long time. So he'll probably be hanging out with us on the next two podcasts because he won't have school and being here while I'm making videos for the week as well. So I hope you had a great weekend. Today I'm going to go over bread and butter sales. I am throwing in a few high dollar though. There are some really good ones that I don't want you to have to wait for next week to see. So you might see them twice, but some really good sales. Our sales are still up over last month, but they are down compared to the last few weeks. And that's to be expected with the holidays. People are out, they're doing things, they're traveling, they're spending time with their family, they're not online shopping as much. So I'm going to show you some really good things that should be pretty easy to find out in the wild that you should be able to pick up cheap and flip for a profit. All right, so here is our sales chart, and you can see over the last 31 days, we're up 20%. That was at 60% at one point, but a lot of those higher dollar sales are now into the last month. But if you look at the graph here, it's way down here on the right compared to the left. Hopefully that'll start going back up soon. We're only at 71.82 today, and it's already 3 in the afternoon. That should be a lot higher, but I also did not list anything today or yesterday. So that, I might not have been feeding the algorithm really good. We are at 28.62 for the week and 19,000 for the month. So we dropped below that 20,000 mark. We're at 46. I really want to hit that 50K and then eventually get to 60K. And speaking of that, the video on Wednesday on New Year's Day is going to be my goals for the upcoming year. So make sure to tune in for that. I do that every year with you guys. And I will show you my year-end sales from eBay, exactly how much we did, whether we're up or down from last year, and our goals for the upcoming year. So let's go ahead, take a look. I'm going to show you some eBay, also a few from Poshmark and one from Mercari. All right, first up, and it seems like you see one of these in every single video, and that's because I love them. This is a vintage Kachina doll, Native American sun face. It was Hopi. It was signed. You can see I put sun face as 2 words as well as 1. This one sold for $41.99. This one was listed in January though, so it took almost a year to sell. I really should have put turquoise because this one has turquoise on its belt. That would have been a really good keyword to throw in there instead of the Murda Bee, because I don't know that that was a known artist. So I would have probably been better off putting in the turquoise was on this, and that might have got a little bit faster sale on this guy. But when I buy the Kachinas, I know some of them are going to be long tail, and I have a big display shelf for these, and so I get to look at them all the time on my desk, and I'm okay with them taking a little bit longer to sell. Next up is one that did not take a long time. So this one was listed in July, so about 5 months, which for vintage linens, I am happy with that timeline. So this is a vintage banquet tablecloth plus 5 napkins. It was a folk art horse design. So pretty. And this one sold for a best offer. It did not sell at that full price. It sold at a best offer of $41.99. So still a really good sale. I got this at a thrift store, I think for $5. So this one's about a $30 profit. Again, 5 months to sell, so not super fast. So if you are new into reselling, just remember that it takes time. This stuff does not sell overnight. And a lot of the stuff that you see me selling has been here for months. Some of it's even been here for years. Up next was a very fast sale. This one sold in under a month. This is a Swarovski silver crystal large koala. And when I say large, this thing's still only about 2 inches. Large is in comparison in the set. So there were smaller, like 1-inch koalas. So this one sold for $29.99 in under a month. I got it from an online auction, and I am about $5 in. So close to a $20 profit on this little guy. And there is the Swarovski swan you can see there in the copyright. So even if you find Swarovski not in a box, it is very easy to identify. It always has that swan etching on it. Next up is one that actually caught me off guard because I didn't know what the heck this was. It was in a jewelry lot. So you can see I put vintage heart shape filigree pendant. Somebody could have ran a chain through some of those cutouts. I also put for necklace or purse fob because they could run something through it. I really didn't know what this thing was, and it sold in under a month. So $24.99. You can see it does have like a little loop through there, but I really don't know what this thing was. But I just priced it $24.99. That is kind of my minimum I really want to hit. So you'll see me have a lot of things that I can't find comps on, but I price them at $24.99 because that's kind of the minimum that I want to be at. Next up is one that very, very rarely I find. So this I find at thrift stores, I guess I should say. I do find jewelry all the time on online auctions, but this is a cobalt blue Murano glass. It was stamped with Murano, and it was a sterling silver Italy necklace, and I got it for $3 at the thrift store. Now, this one was listed back in May, so it took 7 months to sell. It did sell for $25. Best offer of $25, so about $18 profit. And really, it was a gorgeous, gorgeous necklace. You can see here the Italy, the 925 stamp there. And again, on the back of that glass pendant, it was also marked with Murano. And this one was a really great sale. Next up is one of two. So I had two very similar. They were listed separately. The buyer did buy both for $23.09 each. This is a Studio Art pottery mug. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I don't pick up a ton of studio pottery mugs, just if they speak to me, I guess is the only way I can really say that. And this one is a really, really pretty one. And she got, again, one very similar to it. This was listed back in May, so about 7 months to sell. And you can see here, it was just a really, really pretty peach color. I did mark out the price, so that is what that was. The thrift store put the price in Sharpie on the bottom of the mug, which is annoying as crap, but I found that I can just mark over it with the black Sharpie, and I have not had complaints. So this one took a little bit longer to sell. I only paid $2 for it though, so it's about an $18 profit. All right, if you have been watching my ornament series, I keep telling you guys when I see the big lots of these vintage ornaments that there's money to be made. So this is a single ornament, a vintage atomic barrel UFO Mercury glass lantern Christmas ornament with blue and silver. Single ornament sold for $24.99. I am less than $1 in. It is a $20 profit, and it sold in under a month. So when you see big lots of those ornaments, or their bags or boxes of them at thrift stores, at garage sales, estate sales, pick them up if it's a good price. And if they are vintage and kind of cool and different, I would list them individually just like this. Next up was a really, really fast sale. This one sold in under a month. This is a really, really cool rhinestone bracelet. It sold for a best offer of $42, and it sold in under a month. I know I said that twice, but super, super fast on this one. Got this one in an online jewelry lot, and I'm $5 in. So it's actually about a $33 to $35 profit, and sold very, very fast. Now, this one was a Kenneth J. Lane. Make sure you watch out for KJL. I have seen some actually mark Kenneth Lane, so they could be marked either way. And animal rhinestone jewelry I've done very, very well with. This one took a while. It was listed in February, but it is such a friggin' cool robe, and I got it at the thrift store for just a few bucks. So this one is a nautical robe, and it is a fishing robe, and it sold for a best offer $29.39. So it's about a $25 profit, which is not too bad. But again, it took 10 months. But this was just too cool. If you guys know me, I absolutely love the water. I love fishing. So the nautical stuff I pick up, and this one was just too cool not to pick up. And I think it would make like a perfect Father's Day gift. I did put gift and dad in the title, but I probably could have put Father's Day, but that was back in June, but we missed that. It didn't sell through that, but I'm glad that it went to its new home. Next up is some more linens, and these were listed back in May, and they sold for a best offer of $19.59. They are Micah Home. These I picked up at the thrift store for $2, so they're going to be about a $15 profit. I absolutely love linens, and they're really easy to photograph, list, and ship. I tell you guys this all the time because I feel like the linen section is very, very neglected, and you will find high dollar stuff in there as well. You're going to actually see some higher dollar linen sales in this video, and almost all thrift stores have linen sections, and I feel like at estate sales the linen is very, very often looked over. Next up is a Disney Store Mickey hand-blown glass ornament set. It didn't have all the ornaments. It actually only had half of them, and the shipping was pretty high on this because of the box. So on this one, the buyer actually told us, hey, I don't want the box if that would lower the cost of shipping. If you could please remove the box. And I did that, and they ended up getting a pretty significant refund on shipping. So this one was listed back in August. So it took about 3.5 months to sell, sold for $20.99. I got this in a lot at an estate sale for about $1. So not very much. And you can see Mickey's ear was broke. So there was some damage here, and we only had half of the set, but 4 months is not too long to sell, and pretty decent $15 profit. Next up was a really, really fast sale. This is a Vera Bradley. I'm having issues with my mouse. This is a Vera Bradley. I did put rare Nua tags, Elizabeth floral crossbody. This one sold for full price. It sold for $49.99, and it sold in a month. So I know most thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, they tend to price up the Vera Bradley, and the majority of it is not valuable, but there are some pieces that are. So especially if I find it new with the tag, and if it looks like an interesting pattern, I will tell you the Disney Vera Bradley, those do very well. They have hidden Mickey ones. Watch for those and just check your patterns. And again, new with tag, it says exactly what it is. And this one I'm about $10 in. So it is about a $35 profit after fees in a month. Really fast sales. So this is a set of 4 auction catalogs. If you do not know, keep an eye out for the auction catalogs. So these were just listed less than a month ago, and they sold for $44. I got them really cheap in an online estate auction. This is another thing that tends to be missed because everybody thinks, who would want an old auction catalog from 2016? People want them. $44. So these are actually about a $38 profit. And again, they sold in a month. Very, very fast sale. Linen item and another fast sale. 3 months for this one to sell. It is a vintage curved poinsettia table runner, and this one sold for full price, $29.99. Of course, it is the season, but I would have picked this up no matter what time of year it was. This one, $30, and I paid $2 for it at the thrift store. It is close to a $25 profit and pretty darn fast too. So nothing overly special about this one. It really is pretty simplistic, little felt runner, and a really, really great sale. More table stuff. This is a set of 4 heavy gold glass beaded. These things were so heavy. Like so heavy. I got these at a thrift store when I was out with Jolie Flips thrifting down in Mount Dora, Florida. So I'll throw up Sam and Adam's channel for you guys. If you don't watch Jolie Flips, definitely check them out. So we were down there thrifting. I picked this setup for, I believe, $7. It wasn't super cheap, but it was so, so nice. And they sold for $35. They sold for best offer $35. So they are about a $22 to $25 profit. Here you can see the home for the holidays, and really pretty. And I don't think that how pretty these really were came across because they were so heavy. This is all glass beads and really a beautiful, beautiful placemat set. Next up is one that I had to put in. You will see it again in the high dollar sales. This one sold so fast. It sold in under a week. This is a Radley London, which I was not familiar with, but this purse caught my eye on the online estate sale. And I looked it up and I got retail for this. So it sold for $314.99 and it was sold out online. That was the big thing. You can see I did put sold out in my title and this thing sold so fast. It is super, super cute little Scotty dog. I did not know the name Radley London, but I saw a dust bag and typically you're not going to have a dust bag with a cheap purse. So that's something to keep in mind. You can see the Radley London and the little mouse there. Know this name, definitely keep an eye out. And if you see the really cute purses like this, look, it had like a little change wallet with it. Excellent, excellent condition and a $320 sale. I paid $120, so it's about $170 profit after fees. Up next, the shower curtain, linens, 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 people, linens. This is a Ralph Lauren Paisley shower curtain, tan, blue, green. It was made in India. This one was just listed back in August, so 3.5 months for this one to sell. And it sold for a best offer of $35.99. I paid $5. So this one's about a $25 profit after fees. But again, only 4 months. And linens don't break. That's what I love the most about them. So you can see here the RLL Ralph Lauren tag, 100% cotton. Beautiful paisley print on this one. And it's sold, again, 3.5 to 4 months, which I am very happy with when it comes to linens. Up next is a ring that was returned, so hopefully it doesn't get returned again. It sold in a week after I relisted it. I tell you guys all the time, don't worry about returns because stuff will just sell again. It is fine. This one sold for a best offer of $62.99 in under a week. It is a size 7 Dragon's Breath opal. Really, really pretty vintage ring. Got this in an online jewelry lot. You might have seen it before when it sold before and then it was returned. And this one is about a $45 profit. And again, second time it sold, but sold really fast. All right, this is another high dollar one I had to put in because this sucker sold in 1 day. Full price, $99.99. You can see I put Steiff ? This wasn't a lot with other Steiff, but it did not have the tag. So I was unsure, so I did put that question mark. It is a 14-inch. It is a yellow fox. $100. I got this in an online estate auction and I'm less than $5 in. So this one's about an $85 profit in a day on a plush that is very easy to photograph, very easy to list and ship. So if you don't want to do breakables, just know that there's a ton of other stuff out there that you can do that will still make good money. Up next is a Starbucks Niagara Falls. You Are Here blue ceramic mug. Some of these are very valuable. I'm going to put my mug video up top for you guys that I did a research video on because some of them are really valuable and some of them are not worth much. So you definitely have to research if you find Starbucks. So this one sold for $24.99. It was listed for about 5 months, so not too horrible. I really don't pick up a ton of mugs anymore. But if they will hit that $25 point for me, I will. So I do still look at them. I'm just much more selective than I used to be because I really don't want to pack a mug for a $10 to $15 price. Up next is actually one of the longer items that took to sell. This is a handmade Murano style cobalt glass bud vase. Listed over 2 years. So this one sold for $27.99. I sent out a 50% off offer and it was so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous vase. And it almost looks like a heart there at the bottom. It's really, really neat. But $27 sale. I'm about $5 in. So about an $18 profit. But again, this one did take close to 2 years to sell. All right, last on eBay before we jump on over to Poshmark and Mercari. This is another really fast sale, sold in 2 days. I put stacked art, glass squares, 7-inch cactus figurine, art sculpture, sold for full price, $29.99. I feel like I've seen these things at the thrift store and I don't get them. And I don't know why, because they do sell. So here you can see the photographs, really, really pretty piece of art and really, really fast sale again. I think it was either a day or two for this one to sell and it went for full price. I got this in an online auction lot, so about $5 in and about a $20 profit. All right, over on Poshmark, I was super happy this sucker sold. So this is a Veuve Clicquot, and I probably butchered that. Please don't yell at me. Champagne pink rose bottle carrier. It's a little insulated tote bag. We did have a bottle. We actually still have the bottle of wine. None of us drink wine around here. We have a bottle of wine we use to put all of the wine cases on. So this one sold for $45. Payout was $36, and I only paid $1. So this one is a $35 profit. And this is simply cloth. So if you get lucky and go to an estate sale or garage sale of somebody that's a wine drinker, you very, very well might find something similar to this. Up next is another high dollar one I kind of threw in there. This is a Yadro My Chubby Kitty 1995 girl holding hat, sold for $93. Payout was $76. I'm actually only about $15 in on this, so it's a $60 profit, and it sold in 2 days on Poshmark. So really, really fast sale of a high dollar item on Posh, which honestly does not happen very often for us, but know that it can. So I would definitely, your Yadro, your figurines, your little tchotchkes, I would list them over on Poshmark if you are not already doing so. Up next is a pair of Nikes from my high dollar buyout. These are Nike Dunk High 1985, yellow acid wash and black. These were men's size 11.5. They were size new. They were new. I don't have a total buy-in cost on these because these were in the big buyout I did of designer handbags and then a bunch of Nikes. So we paid $5,000 for a whole truck full of them. And here you can see the photos. These were brand new. They were not ever worn. Poshmark doesn't do authentication on shoes like eBay does. They, in my experience, only authenticate stuff over $500. If you know something different than that, though, definitely let us know down in the comments. So payout was $115 on these. And again, I've not figured out buy cost just yet. All right, last on Poshmark is this vintage New York City Transit conductor badge. This one was BMT division. This one sold for $29. Payout was $23. And I got this for about $5. So this one's about an $18 profit. It did take about 6 months to sell, so a little longer, but I bought a big lot of these and not a bad profit for a really, really small piece. This is a 5-inch just metal plate. All right, our only Mercari sale. There were some others, but just none that I really wanted to show you guys. They weren't anything impressive. This is an AND1 men's blue and black basketball zip-up jacket. This buyer tried for 3 months to get their credit card to go through, and no, I'm not kidding. Ever since it was listed back in October. So 2 months, but almost 3. I got this actually retail arbitrage at Walmart for $3. So this one's a $19 profit. It would have sold in October if their credit card worked, but it didn't. So I got a ton of these. When I rarely go to Walmart, but when I do, I definitely check the clearance section. And this was like a $30 jacket marked down to $3. And so what I did is I picked up all the extra large and extra larges. I left the small and mediums there because those do take longer to sell. But watch, if you go to Walmart, you might as well check the clearance and you might find some good stuff just like this. All right, my friends, that was everything. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, just a little bread and butter with a few high dollar that I was super excited about and had to throw in. for you. There will be a high dollar only video next week. I do those every other week with the sales that are $50 and higher. Again, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Please be safe on New Year's Eve. Be safe. If you're drinking, don't drive. If you're shooting off fireworks, for the love of everything, be safe. I almost had my eye put out by a bottle rocket when I was a kid. Be safe with the fireworks. Don't drink and do fireworks. We will be live Tuesday night on New Year's Eve. We are going to have our regular reseller podcast, and we are going to go live until midnight Eastern. I'm not staying up with those of you on the West Coast. I am going to bed after we hit midnight here. And then Wednesday, first video of the year is going to be goals for 2025. And Friday will be a research video on board games. So watch out for those. I hope you've had a wonderful year. And I hope that 2025 treats you very, very well.